Well, hello again, my Darklings. It's Salem Ash. Have you been enjoying my tales? There aren't many yet, but there's always more to come. Don't forget to leave a message if you've got a story of your own you'd like me to tell. Do you think you can come up with something better? I'd love to hear your tales, and I want to hear from everybody. What's your opinion? Anyway, tonight's story is a slow descent into obsession, memory, and madness. This one's a psychological spiral. It's all wrapped in soft light and flickering shadows. Just the way we like it, isn't it? Welcome to Echoes in the Static. Clara moved into apartment 4B on a rainy Tuesday. It was the kind of rain that makes the streets look like broken mirrors. Her new building was old, pre-war, with rusting radiators and floral wallpaper that clung to the walls like secrets. She was freshly single, she was newly employed, and she was silently unraveling. Her apartment, though, had charm. It had high ceilings, large windows, and a vintage intercom system mounted next to the door. The kind with a little brass speaker and a bakelite button that stuck when you pressed it. The landlady, Mrs. Greaves, had been very clear. No guests after 10, no pets, and the intercom, don't bother with it. It doesn't work. But that first night at 3:12 a.m., the intercom buzzed. Clara bolted upright in bed. Her heart was galloping. She waited. She listened. Nothing. The next morning, she laughed it off. The building was old, probably a short, or maybe a ghost trying to order takeout. The second night, it buzzed again. Then a voice. Clara. That was all. Just a whisper through the static. Male, calm, almost warm. She couldn't sleep after that, of course. Would you be able to? The third night, it spoke again. You forgot me, she heard. She ripped the unit from the wall the next day. The wires hung, curled like veins from the drywall. Satisfied, she went back to bed. But the buzz came again anyway. Clara, why did you leave me? The voice began appearing in other places now, too. The television hissed her name. The phone rang from an unknown number, and when she picked it up, it was only breathing. Once in the grocery store, a man standing too close whispered, "You broke your promise." Clara began to isolate, to question, and to remember. She did remember there had been a boy years ago in a foster home in upstate New York. They were close, too close maybe. He had a stutter, soft eyes. His name, she couldn't remember his name, but he obviously remembered hers. She started seeing him then, at the end of the hall, in the corners of reflections. His features were fuzzy, like a photo with too much noise, but the eyes were always the same, accusing and alone. Now the voice changed over time. It became less human, glitched almost, fragmented, as if it were struggling to stay whole. You left me, the house, the fire. There had been a fire in her final placement. She remembered she escaped through the window, but someone else hadn't. She began to believe the voice was real now, not a delusion, not psychosis, a haunting, not of a place, but of memory. So she hired a paranormal team, young guys with expensive cameras and absolutely no chill. They stayed the night. They recorded nothing, absolutely nothing. But in the morning, one of the guys refused to come back inside. He was pale. He was shaking. He just said, "Don't go near the mirror in the hallway. He talks to you through that now." Obviously, she covered that mirror with a sheet, and then she burned it. But that night, she dreamt of fire and a boy screaming her name. Waking up, she found the smell of smoke lingering on her skin. She called her mother, no answer. She looked up her old case files. Closed, record sealed, but the names, she found his. Elijah Darnell. Gone at only 11 from smoke inhalation, locked in his bedroom, no one came. Clara was moved the very next day to a new home with a new name, but he remembered. The voice now came from her laptop, from her television, even from her toaster once. Could you imagine? What would you do? What would you do if you heard a voice coming from your toaster? Each time the voice became more and more fragmented. I waited. You promised you'd never leave me. This time, she decided to speak back. She pressed the broken intercom and she whispered, "I'm sorry. I was scared. I didn't know how to save you." The apartment, believe it or not, fell silent for days. Then, the last night, the power died. From the hallway, she heard footsteps, slow footsteps that sounded wet and dragging. She held her breath and hid under the covers like a child. The door creaked open slow. He whispered, "Come with me now." A shadow climbed into the bed right alongside of her. She tried to scream, but no sound came. Only a thick, humming silence. He pressed his hand to her chest. His hand was cold. His hand was trembling. And suddenly, she was back. She was in that house, back in the fire. All the smoke. She could hear the sound of the wood cracking and glass windows popping. She wasn't a child this time. She was the ghost. In the morning, apartment 4B was empty. The door was locked from the inside. All that remained was the broken intercom, quietly buzzing over and over and over again. Occasionally, it whispered one word: promise. My word, was that crazy or what? What would you have done? Like a shadow climbs in bed with you? What would you have done? I might have enjoyed it, but, to each his own. So thank you for wandering into the static with me once again. Memory is a ghost, my darklings, and sometimes it lingers longer than it should. If you liked this tale, like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, don't press buttons that no longer work unless you want the past to answer. Ta-ta.